Perfect Proteus. Proteus. One day Proteus had returned from the works, and he was new looking. He had new black buffers, new white side rods, a new number that says number 8, and he has a gold roof, and this made Proteus new looking when he returned. Just then Thomas, Stanley and Percy were happy to see him again. I hope we're happy to see that you returned, said Percy. I know, said Proteus. I know, said Proteus. Look at my new shape. I look really useful and splendid. It was a very, very long time since well, you know, Diesel and Diesel 10 bullied me, he said. We know that, said Stanley, and you and the two of them were taking over while you were bullying one another. Surely, said Proteus, but he knows what to do. Just then, however, the Fat Controller spoke to him. Proteus, he said, today's your first day of coming back to the railway, he said. But sir, said Proteus, would I be able to pull goods trains in the yards? He said. No, said the Fat Controller. No, said the Fat Controller, because, he said, I don't trust you after you bullied bullied Diesel and Diesel 10, so you will take the van instead. But you will take the van instead, he said. But Proteus hated it and did not like this at all. Just then he found it dull and grumbling. Well, I like it, you know, said Percy. No, said Proteus, it's so different to my jobs. I hate this, he said. But does it mean I can still be with my sister Penny? He said. Surely, said Penny, behind her. Oh, good to see you too, said Proteus, and was happy. Penny saw Proteus in his new look. She was very, very surprised. Oh my, Proteus, you are perfect. And also Proteus, and chuffed away. And there were some landslides in a line. There were some landslides in a line in the same bridge where Dennis nearly fell off on the broken bridge. But some are different, and it's safe enough. But others are vicious and very dangerous. And it leads to heavy rain and heavy floods. But whatever the weather, store trains and rescue trains stop at this mainland next to an old tree where it's never been used for a long, long time. And then it had to be Proteus's turn, but they didn't know now. At last, however, Proteus finally made it at the main line at 5:15. But then, however, it was too late. Then, however, it became different and vicious. Too vicious. And with that, however, Bert and Penny finally arrived. And there was Percy, ready for anyone to make sure if Proteus was safe. But Proteus was still worried about his side rods, his number, and his roof. He didn't want his new look ruined like his old one was. Then the workmen and his driver and fireman were ready. The inspector came in and was surprised. Now then, number 8, he said, it's up to you. And then the guard blew his whistle, and then Proteus was off. I'll show him, he said. But the 3 engines forgot to warn him, but it was too late. He was a long, long way away at the bridge. and the vicious, stinging, icy wind and the rain were making him not look good at all. He made it through the bridge when it broke. Then it started to break and ruin itself. Proteus nearly fell off, but finally he made it in time. He saved himself at last and remained really useful. At the next day, when the wind and rain was over, the Fat Controller was proud of him. "You are very brave," he said. "Well done. Now I can trust you again," he said. "Thank you, Sir Proteus, but not bullying any diesels again, like Diesel on Diesel 10, he said, like I did the last time with after I pushed Percy off the rails, he said. "But now you know. Now I know that everyone hasn't seen me in my new look for years," he said. "You had your old one before," said the Fat Controller, "but you are amazing in your new one after all," he said. And this made Proteus really happy of all. He still likes being really useful with his sister Penny, but he knows now not to fight back, and it was only just a mistake because while he was angry, and it was, and he was happy to be back again at last, and he was finally the Proteus who he really is of all.